Hi guys.
Hey guys.
If he cheating, I'm doing him worse. No Uno, I hit the reverse.
It's Chris.
Mabel.
Aaron.
And we are
Podcasting. Our project, holiday toy project.
So we have 10 toys for you guys and we're gonna go through them and tell you
Give our
That
honest
match up
opinions
for
on them.
certain age groups.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah.
If he cheating, I'm doing him worse. No Uno, I hit the reverse.
So the first toy we have for you guys is the baby teething set. And the target age group is 0 to 12 months. And the baby will start teething and only toys to feed its cravings. At around 0 to 2 years, the baby will develop its senses, according to Jean Piaget. And pros, the baby will be providing relief from teething pain. And cons, a plastic could rip and break in the baby's mouth. And if they swallow that, game over. And you don't want that for your baby. And when I was younger, I had teething sets. I do remember using teething sets. What about you guys?
Honestly, I don't think I ever liked any of it. My mom tried and I was like, no.
I had the teething sets that, they were plastic and you put them in the freezer and they were cold and ice.
I know what you're
yeah.
Those
Those
are what
ones are
I remember
dangerous.
having, yeah.
Yeah.
We researched and those ones were kind of dangerous for your baby. If they popped in the mouth,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they
But
could leak and it's dangerous to swallow. And parents would definitely endorse this because they know that babies, when they are teething, they're in pain and they can become fussy.
If he cheating, I'm doing him worse. No Uno, I hit the reverse.
okay, so for 1 to 2 years, I found a baby shape sorter. So it's a set of different shapes, and you can kind of, the same, how many sides each one has, you can kind of group it. So I thought this would be a good toy because it'll help the baby develop a sense of where things belong and just recognize shapes and colors, and maybe even how many sides a certain shape has to kind of categorize them better and have a better understanding. They develop reliability, according to Eric Erickson. So the pros of this, the baby will further its development, like I said. And then a con, the baby could get confused and frustrated easily with this. Because it's not really a toy, using the whole set as a whole. So it's a toy.
But what the hell?
But yeah, I don't really remember using anything like this. I did have certain shapes that you put in, you matched up with the same slots, but I didn't have a whole set like this. So this is nice. What about you guys?
I remember using these at doctor's offices.
Oh my gosh, yes, I do remember that too at doctor's offices.
So it has a kind of scary thing.
If he cheating, I'm doing him worse. No Uno, I hit the reverse.
So the next thing is age 2 to 3, which is a play car that's pink.
It has to be pink.
Yeah, it
by
has
the
to be
way.
pink. Oh, that's my birth control. Anywho, something about this is the child will learn to explore and have a sense of independence, and also some of the things that can be wrong is they could hurt themselves, and that can be really dangerous. I know that my mom never let me have one of these. I always used to ask and she would say no.
And I think it also just helps with understanding because cars are such a big thing in our world, so it's kind of an introduction to.
At a very young age.
But yeah, I never had one either.
I remember my neighbor had one. It was a Barbie one, and I loved driving it.
I liked scooters, so I never used cars.
Scooters, yes.
I also like scooters. I used to always go into the grocery store and or wherever the toy cars were, in Walmart or something, and
Oh yeah, because these cars are attached to shopping carts too.
Oh my god.
Oh
yes.
If he cheating, I'm doing him worse. No Uno, I hit the reverse.
Okay, guys. So the next object is an easel or toy, and the easel, it's a a painting thingy, like where you like hook the painting up to, and it's
Yeah.
for ages 3 to 4. And at 3 to 4, the child is gonna start having like symbolic thoughts, and they might want to paint these symbolic thoughts or draw
Spark
these.
creativity.
Yeah, it's basically
Exactly.
just a blank canvas.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I really like this one because I used to always love painting when I was a kid. Like, it was my favorite thing, and I used to always do it in, like, preschool and stuff. I also feel like you can't really go wrong with it. The only problem would maybe be, like, making a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it kind of gives an opportunity for like learning too. Like a parent could be like, "Oh, draw the letter A" or something like that. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like a fun way to
Yeah, it
learn.
makes it more, like, fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a good one for 3 to 4 years old.
Yeah, and that was
Yeah.
one of Jean Piaget's thoughts on creativity for the little kids.
Yeah.
And some cons, though, the baby could get messy with it. Or not the baby, the toddler, whatever you call it, could get messy with it, and they can, like, paint everywhere, and
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
want to get a mess.
And
Hmm.
and tell your kid not to eat or ingest.
Yeah,
any
that's
of
true. It
the-
also could definitely, like, ruin clothes and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
So there's that.
If he cheating, I'm doing him worse. No Uno, I hit the reverse.
Okay, so the next thing we have is a mini board for drawing. Which
This is
basically looks like
similar.
a fake iPad.
Yeah, it's before the 5 to 6 years, which is an iPad. This is kind of like moving forward, like close to an iPad, but not quite. 4 to 5 years. So it's like similar to the easel. It's like an in-between between an iPad and an easel. It kind of helps the kid like express themselves, draw certain objects maybe. Yeah, I used to have one when I was a kid.
I also
I
used to have
was
one, and it was
obsessed.
like my favorite thing too. And it's mess free.
Right.
It's kind of like the easel, but like it's nice that it's mess free. Like you don't have to
Yeah.
like clean up anything. And honestly, it's also like you can like travel with it.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I feel like it is more like portable, which is kind of.
It's definitely a good option if you're not ready to get your kid maybe an iPad or something like that. It's definitely like something you can carry and it
Yeah.
grabs their attention. So,
Yeah, definitely.
and then what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say also, like, I remember as a kid I'd try and like beat their eraser. I'd try and like I'd draw something and I'd like bring the eraser down and it'd like erase obviously, but I wouldn't want it to erase, so I'd like to try and make it not erase.
Okay, I mean a con could be frustration.
Yeah, frustration, yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Not too many
Connecting.
cons with it though.
Yeah,
It's a
honestly.
good toy.
If he cheating, I'm doing him worse. No Uno, I hit the reverse.
Connecting to that though, the iPad. The
iPad.
iPad kids, where this all originates.
The best
I
toy.
am. No, I think it's not.
At age 5 to 6, I think that could be an appropriate time to give your kid an iPad.
Well, yeah, like if
For
they're
some.
older, but
For some.
5 to 6 is too young. I feel like.
I
Well,
mean, it could be. It doesn't have to be a whole iPad though. It could be like one of those little things that's just games. You know what
Yeah. Oh yeah, like a Nabi. I had a Nabi.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like a whole
I-
expensive iPad. Yeah.
I don't know what a Nabi is, but I had a
Something
Kindle.
It had like
that.
apps. It had apps,
I
and
had a Kindle.
Yeah, like something like that.
I had a Kindle, and actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I did have I feel like I did get my first like iPod or Kindle or whatever around that age. So maybe it's not like the worst, but I just feel like also like there's so many inappropriate things on the internet that like exposing your kid to that at such a young age, and like social media and stuff can just be like a very negative environment.
Mhm.
So I feel like you should be a little bit older, but
I
that's
feel like
just
as
my
long as
opinion.
the parent is supervising their
Yeah.
their child wisely.
Supervision is definitely key
Key.
with this.
Yeah.
James.
And then you can use like YouTube Kids to have vlogs on certain things.
Yeah.
But it's definitely I had an iPod, not an iPad. So it's like the same thing, just a smaller screen.
Mhm.
I had an iPod and then I got an iPad like years later. But
Yeah. And I just played games on it and listened to music. I got introduced to music with my iPod, so
that is
was
true,
plus.
yeah.
And Eric Erickson says that kids are on this age start to take initiative anyway, and they like to become handling their own things.
Yeah, like having to keep track of your iPad, make sure it doesn't break.
Yeah, and it could also be used as like a reward, like, and like punishment, like getting your iPad taken away. Like it can like teach kids like rules and stuff, and like, oh, if they do something bad, then they like get it taken away. So yeah.
If he's cheating, I'm doing him worse. No Uno, I hit the reverse.
So the next one is STEM cars, and that's for 6 to 7 year olds. And we picked STEM cars because they use your imagination and creativity, and according to Jean Piaget's theory, representing objects in symbolic thought is important for kids around this age, and using toys like a STEM car where they can control it on their own.
And it kind of just helps, like, kind of go back to, like, the other toy car. It just helps, like, a more bigger understanding of, like, reality and what's in, like, everyday life for the kid. I never really had these. I know my brother did, but...
Yeah, I didn't really play with cars at all, but I do feel like one of the cons, though, is that they could choke on, like, small pieces and stuff. There are lots of, like, or at least in the picture that we have, there's lots of, like, small pieces that, like, you can put together. But the same with, like, Legos and stuff like that, too. Like, it can be a hazard for kids that are, like, too young.
But at 6 to 7, I feel like you kind of know common sense.
But
So
I would
if
say,
you
like,
don't-
around that age is, like, good. But before that is a little young.
Yeah.
If he's cheating, I'm doing him worse. No Uno, I hit the reverse.
7 to 8 years old is a toy camera. Using a camera requires learning and logical thinking. It's kind of the same with the iPad. It's just the technology. Do you want to talk more about, like, the theory behind it?
Yeah, so Jean Piaget's theory, he says that learning and logic definitely becomes prominent when you're 7 to 8, and you can definitely handle more technology, and you won't be stuck trying to understand it.
I think also with a camera, kind of like taking like just like fun pictures and stuff with like a kid, like of themselves or even with their friends, it can kind of help develop like kind of like self-love, self-acceptance in a way too, which is really good. That can make it a good toy.
Yeah.
I had a Polaroid camera when I was around this age.
Yeah.
So I really liked it.
It's fun, like, and you can hang Polaroid pictures in your bedroom. If you have like friends, you can take cute pictures.
Yeah, I guess we should
I
should specify like a toy camera. It's not like one of like the nice ones.
Yeah.
So like you can drop it, like kind of one that you would add film into.
Yeah.
So it's kid friendly.
I also feel like it's a nice way to like capture like kids' like first memories and stuff, because like I feel like when you're so young, like your parents and stuff will take pictures of you, but I don't know, I think it would be like nice if I had my
I think I broke my finger.
Alright.
If he's cheating, I'm doing him worse. No Uno, I hit the reverse.
Last but certainly not least, 8 to 12 years old. We picked a makeup set. This is a little more geared towards girls, but it's a new learning skill, like doing makeup. This relates to Erickson's theory. Yeah, it's just kind of like getting
Learning
older.
new skills.
Yeah, getting older, finding kind of like acceptance, but learning new skills artistically too.
Yeah, I feel like my mom never really let me like have makeup when I was like too young. I feel like she was more, I don't know, like the most I would have is maybe like chapstick or something. Like she never really let me have like makeup. I feel like one of the only like, cons is like it's like, I don't know, like
Teaching
it could be
young girls.
teaching them like unhealthy habits too.
Yeah.
I feel like, but it's also a good way for them to like learn things and like
Also on their skin, the chemicals.
yeah, that too. And like, but it's a nice way for them to see if they have like an interest in that sort of thing, and they could be good at it. So
Right.
Just sparks more creativity and everything.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's all the toys we found.
That's our top 10
that's
list.
it. That was our top 10 list.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was just
Thanks
about to
for
say that.
watching.
Thanks for
Like
watching.
and
Thank
subscribe.
you.
Comment down below your favorite toy when you were younger.
G-A-N-G, baby. Let me B-A-N-G, baby. G-A-N-G, baby.
The Christmas music
Okay,
in the
it's okay.
background is literally killing me. I can't.
Just
You're gonna
think,
have to edit
say
that out
a
because
toy sorter.
That was
Guys,
always, like, the
this
one
looks
thing
like
I
an apology video.
with the microphones too. I play card. Wait. Okay. Sorry, I can't really see, so you'll just edit this part out.
If he's cheating, I'm doing him worse.